Welcome to Cards of Insight, where we discuss all things tarot. And I'm Greg, and I live in London.
Anna here, joining you all the way from sunny Brazil.
Susan here. I'm here in Canada.
And Pavlina, greetings from London, UK.
And we are all tarot readers.
Well, guys, how would we like to talk about the queens today and their characteristics? How do you feel about that? Everyone want to do that today? What we could do is look at different, the energy they get off, because obviously they don't have to be a, feminine queen or whatever, but energy. But let's take a look, I think, for the first one let's look at the Queen of Wands. And the question I'm going to pose is, if the Queen of Wands had to make a decision, is she clear-headed, uncertain, quiet, and sure, or weak-willed? What's your perspective of her?
Well, definitely not uncertain. To me, the Queen of Wands thinks she always has the answer to everything. They may not think too much, but in their minds, they know the answer. They don't have time to overthink and question things. So I would say clear-headed in their opinions. And probably very direct in what they say. I mean, they don't leave room for uncertainty when they decide on something. They're very open, and they're very clear about what they want. Anybody sees her in a different light there?
Yeah. She'll make a decision being clear-headed because she's the queen. And the queen represents authority. It could represent knowledge, experience. So in terms of clear head due to experience, yes. And very quick mind, because it's a ones card. And when they make decisions, they will make decisions relatively quickly.
Mm-hmm.
They won't hesitate. But they're also more physical. And they would rather go and probably, if they want it done, they would do it themselves rather than wait for somebody to do it, because they're action.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of that would be making a quick decision. Do you know what? I'm not waiting for the plumber. I'll do it myself today.
Yeah.
As an
Sometimes
example.
they take part. They
Yes.
take part in the action
Yeah.
as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think she's kind of weak-willed because she gets distracted with many things around her, right? So she's a fire. So, yes, she can stick to her decision, but she could easily get distracted. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she's an immature Queen of Wands.
Yeah.
I can that. Yeah, if she were, a young Queen of Heart, like not sure as yet, I could see her making decisions that suit her rather than suiting others, where a mature queen would be, she's here to help guide other people or lead things. So she needs that clear headedness. Yeah, I do agree with you, Palvina, like she could be weak-willed that way and negative.
Yeah, going on that is, for example, if the kitchen cupboard is loose. Now, if you were a swords card, you go, do you know what? I'd rather wait until tomorrow for the experienced person to do it. Whereas a ones card would go, do you know what? I think I can do that, and I'll do that today. Whereas that's where you're not making the correct decision because you're a little bit impatient. That's how I'm going off of what Pavlina and Susan said. Sort of ties in with that.
So that kind of leads into another question concerning that queen, is whether, if you've seen her giving directions, would she be forceful, or would she hesitate, or would she be overly aggressive or timid?
She can have a tantrum sometimes.
Yeah, drama. She likes drama.
Yeah.
She likes to be
Little
over
drama
the top.
queen.
Yeah. But would you consider that forceful or just, making her point? I mean, the forceful to what point? I mean, would she be nasty in a way, oh, it's my way or the highway, or how would you see that? I agree with you. She likes the show. She
never,
likes the show.
and she's giving directions.
Uh-huh.
So I could see her giving like rapid fire. Well, you go north down there, and then you'll turn south at Hamley, and then you'll go whatever, and then she walks away.
Uh-huh. And she uses her hands a lot.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
yes,
Yeah.
that
she's a
one.
hand lady.
Yeah, she's going
yeah.
all over the
Yeah.
place.
I have to say, I can imagine her when her kids didn't take the trash out, she would have a tantrum. So,
She'd probably be rolling the can down the
Yes.
driveway.
To
Yes,
grab the
yes,
kids by the
exactly.
ears and make them do it.
Yes, yes.
Overly aggressive, wouldn't that be a matter of perception? Because if you ask a Queen of Wands directions, like I said earlier, she would use a lot of action and point and go that way. Don't watch out for the cyclist when you cross that road, and she'd be often using her hands almost like an Italian, woo, and people might think, oh, she's in a hurry, but she's not. She's just forceful.
Yeah.
And definitely
I
not
agree.
timid.
No.
It has
No,
to,
not
no,
timid.
not timid. No, not hesitant either. Even
Yeah.
even if she might not be completely sure about the direction, she will not be hesitant. But I agree, Greg. It depends on the tone of your voice. It depends on how you
Yeah.
speak, the culture you come from also. I mean, Latins tend to speak, very forcefully and loud, so they may interpret that as aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's not hesitant. I think the only way she's hesitating is if she really didn't know where that place was. But I think what she would do is that she'd say, okay, well, let me think about this. And maybe she'd go into her phone or whatever, or go into maybe the shop and say, do you know where such and such is? And I could see her going in, asking those directions, coming out, and then helping that person to find that place, and maybe
Or
even
grabbing a
taking them
person
there.
on the street and saying, "Do you know where this is?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That
she's
no
very
shy. She's
confident.
not
Yeah,
shy.
she's super
Yeah,
confident
yeah,
and
yeah.
definitely not shy.
Let's not forget she's
Yeah.
the master of the wand, right? She
Mhm.
can definitely
Yes.
fight Aikido or the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we're looking at here is, well, I can see, and you can give me opinions on this, but what the queen, when she's making decisions, okay, how are they different? Can the other perception of her be different from those of, like, would you see her as being prejudiced or broad-minded, trusting, or suspicious?
You mean if people's decisions are different from hers?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
sorry, yes.
I think she would get pissed. I don't see her. I don't see her prejudiced. No, I don't. Broad-minded. I don't know. Perhaps trusting. No, because she's so confident that when she gives a direction or says something and people do exactly the opposite or something completely different, she gets upset. I think she would. My Queen of Wands would get upset. I said, "Why did you ask in the first place if you were not going to follow what I said?"
Yeah.
So I don't know. Broad-minded, perhaps a little bit trusting. No. Suspicious. No. That's too within to be a Queen of Wands. She's an outward sort of queen to me. She doesn't really hold a lot of stuff on the inside. She says what she thinks. She's very outspoken. Do you see it differently? Do you see her as being prejudiced at all?
I could see her as being prejudiced
Yeah, how? Tell us.
because she's fast moving and perhaps would not have the patience to work with people that would slow her down. She would tend to be a little bit biased towards the faster moving people that can keep up with her pace, if that was to make sense. So, like you said, she asks you to do something and then do something different and then say, well, why did you ask me in the first place? She's not going to ask that person next time because she knows if she asks her, she may not do it.
Yeah, that sort of prejudice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get what you're
like
saying.
that.
Yeah. Do you think she holds grudges?
She could.
I don't think so because it's quick and she forgives. So you might feel the wrath of it at the time. She might say a comment to you, but then it'll be forgiven because she had her say. That's what, because it's fire. It's
I think she can hold it, because it's like she can even put it in the wand. It's inside of her, right?
mhm.
So you never know what's inside, because she is covering her emotions, by the wand and just actions around.
Yeah, but wouldn't she blast? Like she'd point that wand at you and blast you? So
Yes, exactly.
I
And
don't
it's
I
Yes,
don't
over,
put
think
it
I
right?
all
don't think
out.
she would
Yeah.
keep it very long. I think if she was pissed off or angry about something, she would turn around and blast that person or that
Mhm.
situation, because if she's keeping it within herself, it's because of the situation. Maybe therefore she'd have a lot of anger within, like if it's a work situation and she's more the underling than the boss, and
Mhm.
that would be burning fire, and
Mhm.
I could see her, like, but she would have to let it out somehow, whether she be on riding a bike or doing something where she'd have to burn off that particular anger,
Mhm.
because I don't think she could really keep it inside and not
Mhm.
express it somehow.
Yeah, you're talking on this thing. It came to me the word vindictive. I don't know. Would she be vindictive?
If she was
Because
angry,
Yeah.
yeah, but would she hold that grudge and then take revenge? Or you see, it's a question of time here. Would she wait till the right time, or would she, find something to do at the moment? I agree, she's not the person to hold things on the inside for too long. She can't.
being a one's card, the Queen of Wands, I tend to find there's a little patience there. And
Mhm.
she's dying to hit you on the head with her cane. She's dying. So can't wait. I mean, not dying, can't wait to hit you on the head with that wand.
Button,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that she wouldn't have held grudges in too long. But that's why she's forgiving. But if she has to hold that grudge in and doesn't have the opportunity to whack you with that stick, then yes, then she won't forgive you yet until she hits you with that stick. So
Mhm.
it would depend on time, like you said, Anna, if she would hold grudges. Because if I don't let it out, then I can also tend to be a bit annoyed until I let it out. Yeah,
But in some way, when you look at her, she's a manager, right? She's observing.
Yeah.
So she could hold it for a little time, if she has to.
Yes, if the situation demanded that.
Yeah.
mhm.
But she wouldn't keep it for long. That's for
Oh,
other
she
queens.
wouldn't.
That's not
Yeah.
for her,
No.
definitely.
Well, here's another question. How do you think people who know her well, what would they say? Would they consider her loving or cold, generous or withdrawn?
Definitely loving, right? She's a warm personality.
Very generous,
Very
generous.
generous. There's something she does to people that is invaluable. She makes people feel good about themselves because she's not about, giving messages, just hidden messages about this, that, and the other, making people unsure because she's so open. She's so there. She's so obvious in what she feels that people feel confident about her and about themselves. And she doesn't, somebody said, she doesn't hold grudges. So if she's mad at you, she will say it, and that's it. I mean, enough. Don't do it again, okay? Fine. So let's go watch a movie. So they also make people feel happy being around her because she's a very upbeat, she has a very upbeat personality. She's generous. She's very, very generous. I think to me, she's to me personally, she's the closest you have to the Empress because she's about, saying what she means and giving what she can. As far as sacrificing herself, I don't know much. Do you think she would sacrifice herself for others? I don't think not to that point. What do you think?
I think if the occasion arose, like if you were talking about like maybe life or death or some very, very difficult situation, I think she would stand up and sacrifice herself in order to save someone. If that was
Mhm.
came down to that kind of black and
Yeah.
white situation, I could see her doing. That's just the kind of person she is.
Mm.
And if she's not doing it, I think she'd go into the depression thinking, why didn't I act? She'd really question herself. So why didn't I act? I know how to act. I know how to deal with situations. I think she would that's where I would see it, like uncertainty within her if she did not stand and do the right thing and act appropriately. If she
Mhm.
feels someone else can't act, that's where I see it.
If you ask if she's loving, cold, or generous, or caring, and she's caring, and she's more of a person that would, if she sees something wrong, she would say it, and rather tell a person what they need to hear rather than what they want to hear. She will speak with a little less tact, and she thinks she's caring by telling you, but because it's got a little bit less tactful, people might perceive that as being cold. It was like, how could she say that? But she feels she's saying it because she loves you, and she just says it with a little bit less tact. And
When you say cold, you mean harsh?
yeah, cold, harsh. Sorry, that's what I
And
thought we meant.
yeah,
Yeah,
in
cold
that
and harsh.
sense. Yeah, no, because I thought also about aloof. She's everything but aloof.
Yeah, and
Everything. And that would be a cold thing to me. Yeah, I get what you're saying. And we cannot forget, Greg, that people who also, read reversals or see people in their negative side and their shadow side, she can be a horrible, bossy individual, very nasty,
Yeah.
aggressive. She can,
yes,
go about breaking things. I mean, just throwing things at people when she's in one of her tantrum phases.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
Time manager.
Whacking them with the wand.
Yeah.
yeah. And when they reverse, they're doing it for nasty reasons and too much, and then they're actually aggressive. That's not nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
fortunately, it's not reversed.
yeah.
We hope it's not anyway.
But it could depend on the situation. It may not be a bad thing it's reversed because it may be
Yeah.
a toning
Well,
down.
all queens do dramas, but her drama, tops them
Yeah.
all. It's a Hollywood.
The Hollywood one,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Hollywood
definitely.
drama.
One.
Yes.
Yes. That's a manager of Hollywood reporters.
And the attractive Queen of Wands know they know they're attractive.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You know what that reminded
Very
me of?
confident.
Have you seen
Mm-hmm.
those ballet instructors when somebody, makes a slightly wrong move? They have a fit. It looks like they're about to faint. And they scream and they say, well, what kind of dancer do you think you are? I don't even know why you're here. I mean, you should be, walking on the streets. So that sort of
Yeah.
abrasive and very unkind remark would be a Queen of Wands remark in the negative side.
I was going to just say it. You're describing to me a prima donna.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's far from cold because if you look at the Queen of Wands, she's got a cat. It's a pet.
Yes.
And it's a stray cat. So if you have this particular rider weight, it's a stray cat. So it shows that she doesn't discriminate, she doesn't care, she just loves the cat, even if it's all battered and got half a ear and stuff. She still loves the cat.
Don't you think she thinks she can use the magic on
Yeah.
people because
She is considered the bruja for some people, right?
Yeah.
The witch. Yeah, the witch for the black cat. Could be.
Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, and follow us. And feel free to leave a comment.